All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah Kodash. A double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim bringing out this word in diligence and truth. And as you see, this is from OutdoorLife.com. Now, the same article is on the New York Times, but, they don't allow you to read it if you don't pay for a subscription. But nevertheless, it reads, Midwestern fertilizer spill kills nearly every single fish in 60-mile stretch of river. Iowa's largest fish kill in a decade bled across the state line and into the Missouri portion of the Nishnambotna River. Hey, that's probably a word probably go back to Gad. But as you see here, it says a line of dead fish found in the Missouri stretch of the Nishnambotna River. It was taken more than 40 miles downstream. Hey, now we understand Esau is ultimately doing this, to destroy and disrupt, the food chain supply. And he's also doing it, to get those individuals or the locals who live in this area, who are living more so off grid than a normal American, to get them to inhabit the cities, which are more controllable. Because a lot of these people in these parts of the nature or rural areas, they fish. They're not going to the store to buy fish because they could fish off their land. They're not really going to the store to buy meat unless it's a specific meat that they want, because they're hunting for their own meat, and they're breaking it down as well. So they're more than likely, living and using their land to the best of their ability, including growing crops, which they do in season, and the soil that they have in their area is better soil than, you can find in your local, start nurseries and places like that. Your I'm not sure what you call them stores, but your plant stores, basically. It says, officials in Iowa and Missouri are still taking stock of a massive fish kill that occurred in the Nishnambotna River system last month after a large amount of fertilizer was spilled near Red Oak. It says the Iowa Department of Natural Resources announced Thursday that nearly every fish living in a 60-mile stretch of the East Nishnambotna and Main Nishnambotna rivers died in the event. This included the Missouri portion of the Nishnambotna, which flows through the northwest corner of the state for about 10 miles before it meets the Missouri River. It says Iowa's DNR latest count shows roughly 750,000 dead fish. And this is ultimately all because of Esau, man. You point the blame at him because he's in control. Hey, he does these things in order to wipe out, species, in order to whether they be invasive or invasive or non-invasive. He does it on both sides, It says, which makes it the state's biggest fish kill in a decade and the 5th largest on record. It says the majority of these fish, more than 700,000, were small bait fish like minnows and shiners, which are, the same fish that you would be eating in 3 years from now and 2 years from now, because they would have gotten up to size. But this also, destroys, the ecosystem in multiple ways, because a lot of these bait fish are meals or food to the bigger fish. Bass eat these type of fish, both small and largemouth. Sunfish eat certain of these fish, man. The birds from the sky eat these fish. The turtles eat these fish. You have other wildlife within these rivers that eat these fish. So now if they eat the dead ones, which I'm pretty sure they're not, because, they like live bait. They like live animals, live fish. That's how they eat them. But if they choose to eat them because their food source is now stripped, then guess what? They get sick, they die, and the cycle continues. Now you have generations of fish that are just floating on top of the river. And the birds, if they eat this, they're going to get infected. And guess what? They're going to poop out this same infected feces onto plants. And guess what? Now the plants are messed up. So it's just an ongoing cycle, man. The Lord created the earth to be a body, a full system. It breathes, it lives, it moves, And Esau is disrupting the pattern in which Yahweh Shai created. So I want to grab a couple precepts. This is a Revelation. Matter of fact, I'm going to start this out of the book of Isaiah, and then I'm going to go into Sirach 10. It's Isaiah 24 and 5. Oops. Yep, right here. 3. 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Hey, so everything, all the problems of nature in which Esau creates, hey, the guidelines for how to keep these things in order and in balance, hey, were given to us by Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Hey, you have fields and thousands of acres of land which can no longer yield any crops because E doesn't, adhere unto the land Sabbath. You have water that's toxic because guess what? He chooses to strip the water out of its natural, ecosystem. Pumps it full of chemicals and bottles it in plastic and then sells it back to you. The air you breathe is toxic because deforestation, because trees are purifiers, plants are purifiers. So he takes those out the system, and then he also pumps toxins into the air, which kills and harms other plants, kills and harms animals, which ultimately, now we have to deal with these same problems. You have people who allergies are just act up because the earth is out of balance. The pollen has always been upon the earth, man. It's no reason why you have generations of individuals who struggle to breathe when they got to go outside in nature. That's not natural, man. That's not natural. And of course, your food has a lot to do with that as well. But all these problems, come from the root, which is Eve. He's the source of all of this. And this is another reason as to why he got to go down, man. Because this devil, he messes up everything. This is Rock 10. And I'm going to start here at 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And he is the unwise king. And this is 4, the point. It says, the power of the earth is in the hand of Yahweh Shema Shai. And in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. And he is unprofitable to this earth, man. Because everything he does is for greedy gain. The scriptures tell you he covered fields by violence. He established a city, a town with iniquity, with blood. So everything he does is for his own benefit. He sees nothing, anything in the earth in which, everyone can benefit off of. This devil want to make sure that nobody can benefit off of it. He wants it, and that's why the scriptures say, what? He heapeth all things to himself. This is how he moves. This ain't no accident, with this particular fertilizer. This devil wants these people to, really all people, to be under his rule, under his watch, and to ask him for everything. So I'm gonna go into some of the science too, about this fertilizer. Because when you read, it's fertilizer killing it, you like, what? But you got to look at the chemicals within this fertilizer and understand what fertilizer actually does to natural resources, man. The soil in the ground is already pure enough. Well, not really, because he destroys it. And that's why he puts fertilizer on it, because he messes that up. But nevertheless, I'm going to read this and I'm going to hop into it. It says, but the tally also includes nearly 8,000 catfish, which are important to the ecosystem. Niggas will eat that, though. It says, along with more than 1,000 sunfish and largemouth bass. The death toll for crawfish, mussels, amphibians, and other aquatic species is unknown. Which those species right there all help purify, and eat those. The crayfish eat the little baby fish, the minnows, the amphibians like the frogs, the turtles. They eat the minnows, But as you see, they're all dying. A lot of the bottom feeders are dead now. The carp, bottom feeder, you ain't supposed to eat them. Carp sucker. You got channel cat, flat cat, grass carp, all them. Those are bottom feeder fish, man. Let's see if it has any more. Let's see. Officials say the massive fish kill was triggered by a fertilizer spill that occurred in Red Oak. Could rate that. Here we go. On March 11th, the co-op notified the DNR that approximately 265 gallons of liquid nitrogen fertilizer were accidentally discharged. Get the man. This devil gotta pay, man. How you accidentally spilled 265 gallons of liquid nitrogen fertilizer into a drain that flows into a river. You know how many people back check these pipes and plans? Bro, it's not like it just goes through one hand or one specific company. This is city and state documented what you call it, actions. It says the storage tank valve was left open overnight, so nobody paid attention to it. Get the fuck out of here, man. He explained that when large amounts of liquid nitrogen mix with water, it creates ammonia, which is deadly for aquatic animals. And because of the relatively small size of it, which runs even lower during the winter months, there wasn't enough water to dilute it. And regardless, hey, the little fish dying in there, the big fish going to be affected, man, because they still got to filter the water through their lungs to breathe. Wow. Let's see. It says they're going to penalize new cooperatives for allowing the spill to happen in the first place. They only get $10,000 in fines. The estimated value of damage in Iowa. Get out of here, man. It's only $226,000. That's BS. You got 700,000 fish that were killed off. But let's get into, matter of fact, I want to bring out this precept in the book of Sirach, the 19th chapter. It's like the 39th chapter. And the 26th verse. And it reads, matter of fact, I'm going to start at 25. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal things for the whole use of man's life, and I'm going to read the list and I'm going to get back on the point, are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners are they turned to evil. And when we look at the first principal use of a man's life is water. And there you have the water, which is what, 60+% of the earth, and also 60+% of your body is water. Showing you, your body is much like the earth. You know, water is needed, and when that water is contaminated or filled with toxins, guess what? Your body suffers. But I do want to get into because you have something called dissolved oxygens, right? And with fertilizer, these dissolved oxygens, they feed, algae. What you may see, okay, that's good, because algae is good in the natural habitat. But the thing is, the algae takes so much of this phosphorus and nitrogen, as you see here. It says the limited availability of nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus helps to maintain the algae population at a level that contributes to proper amounts of dissolved oxygens, right? So there's DO, they call it DO in science, dissolved oxygens, or DO2, I believe. But nevertheless, algae is great in a balanced system. But when the algae starts to take over because of the surplus of nitrogen and phosphorus, guess what? The wildlife or the aquatic life suffers and it dies because all that oxygen is stripped from that water and given to the algae. So it's basically like the fish are swimming in water that's suffocating them. So they basically suffocating while they swimming and they eventually die. It says, but algae thrive on surplus nitrogen and phosphorus from fertilizers, as you see what happens there, right? So I got another one. It says dissolved oxygen is the amount of oxygen that is present in water. Water bodies receive oxygen from the atmosphere and from aquatic plants. Running water, such as that of a swift-moving stream, dissolves more oxygen than the still water of a pond or a lake. And you tend to have a greater health of fish or aquatic life in these streams that have running water, man. And that's why in the fish tank, you got to have basically that oxygen system to keep the airflow within the water. That's why you see the fish bowls, fish die quick because oxygen isn't running through that system. So that's why you see the goldfish at the carnivals in the little tins. In the little plastic things. You may bring it home and like, dang, why is my fish dead in 3 days? That's why. Because it doesn't have a system which oxygen is flowing or a regular state of which oxygen is flowing. And the fish literally suffocate in water. So E is basically done this to the fish to where the baby suffocated because their systems aren't strong enough to fight through it. And they died, man. And this, I'm going to grab this precept and I'm going to close out, man. Hey, because this devil has no regard for no life. This Revelation 11 and 18. And it reads, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, the elect, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And this is why, another reason as to why Esau got to go down, man, because they've been destroying the earth. Yeah, ever since he got into rulership, he's been destroying this earth. And the scripture saying, shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. Hey, so the devil that this man has been, hey, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to take him down with great violence, as the scripture says. Hey, but Lord willing, this lesson be edifying unto the body. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Harakakwadash, and double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to all you Akim bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.